Console menu. In this lesson, I would like to show you how to create a console menu. In many university assignments or almost any program that is based on the console, in all of those cases, you will need a console menu. That's the interface of the console. You get a menu, it tells you to select a command, it tells you your options, and then you put an input and it does something. Let me demonstrate. This is a test menu I created. Let's run it. That's a console menu. You have an option Start. You can see the credits and you can exit the program. Let's do one. Start. It says start something. It outputted something. It could have done anything. But, for simplicity's sake, we just output something. Credits will output the credits, as you can see. Credits, all right, reserves too. And exit. Program ended the program. So, this is a very, very, very common program structure, program flow, whatever. So, I decided to create a class to handle it. A menu class, a console menu. And you can see how useful it can be. You can use it for anything, for a calculator. In some cases, you will need to create your own program with a more complex menu system, and this won't do. But in a lot of cases, you can adapt this code to that. Let's start. This is the test menu. It extends the class console menu. You can use it like this and never look at console menu and use it blindly, but I would like you to know how to create a console menu for yourself, but let's first see how we use it in test menu. So we extend console menu and inherit all of its attributes and all of its methods. So in the constructor, we have an inherited attribute called isRunning. It's a public attribute. You don't see it here, you see it in the console menu. I set it to true, so the loop will start running when we call the method run. Also notice you don't have a run method because it's inherited from console menu. The menu items are just a string array. We also don't need to declare it as its attribute of console menu, so we put the 3 menu items as array objects. We don't need to output them, we don't need to do anything. The console menu does everything. And then we need to handle the user input. So we override the parent's user input, menu user input method, which returns void. We call the execution of the original menu user input, so it will get the input and put it on an attribute called next. The user attribute will be saved on next. It's a string. So we check if next equals to the string 1, output this. If it equals 2, output this. If it equals 3, write program ended and use the method endP, which is short for end program, to end the program. And that's it. Nothing complicated. You can create 10 menus like this and use them. Once let's say you have a go to next menu, so you end the program and start the next menu, etc., etc. I have a solution for multiple menus, but I'll show you that in the next lesson. Let's see the console menu now. So this is the console menu. It has a public attribute isRunning, so you will be able to stop the program from inside the menu, from outside, from anywhere. You just turn this into false and it stops. So here you have a public string called menu items. These are the menu items that will be outputted. And you have a protected string called next, which is the user input, and the menu manager, which is the class I'll show you in the next lesson. The menu manager can handle any number of console menus in case it's a very complex program with a lot of menus. It does it in a very simple way. So here we set isRun to true first, and then we set the menu items, the default menu items. That's what the menu will show if you do not override it, like this, like we did in test menu. So run method, it's simply a loop that check if isRunning is true, which it is. Once it's false, it stops running. Okay, here we have update. I chose to put everything in update in case we would like to update the menu from somewhere else, like the menu manager. In update we have two methods. Show menu, menu show, to show the menu items, this list, these 3 items, or 10, or whatever. It depends on how many items you have in the menu items string array. And then you have the menu user input. So it shows the menu and then it asks the user for an input. So show menu is very simple. You have an iterator, you have a for each loop that runs over the menu items. It outputs each item, and it also formats the number of the item. It starts counting from 1, so if it started from 0, the user will be confused. Why is it 0? So we start from 1, so it will output 1, 2, 3. This is this one, the formatted number of the item. And then we just increment the iterator because it's a for each loop. That's it, it's not complicated. If you don't understand this, please go over the lessons about arrays and loops. It's in the first part of this course. Menu user input. First thing it does is create a scanner called user input, and then it catches the user input and puts it inside the attribute next. If you remember, next is here. It's the protected string, which is available in this class and all its children class. If you don't know what protected means, please go over the lessons about object-oriented programming in the first part of this course. I explained about protected and private. And here we check if the user wrote exit. If he wrote exit, if next is equals to exit, say program ended and run end p. End p is short for end program, and what it does is set running to false. And if we have an instance of menu manager is not null, which means it has something. Menu manager isRunning is also false. So stop the whole program. This one ends the whole program. A menu manager also has a next menu in case you just want to switch the menu, but this one ends the whole program. And that's it. There's not much to it. That's how you use a menu. Call it and then you use run. That's how you create a menu. Set isRun to true. You create its menu items, and in menu user input you need to call the super method of menu user input, and then you can check next for the user input and do things with it. You can parse this into an int easily, like we did in the other lessons when we got a string using the scanner and then turned it into an int with the integer parse int. And it does stuff with the input, either outputs this or ends the program. And that's it for this lesson. If you have any questions, you can use the Q&A or contact me. That's it.